Okay, so we're sitting down today with Lisa Barrett on the pod.
Now, this is a bit of a revolution, like, but I'm talking about rape.
How do they get out of their shell and start to feel okay in their own skin again?
It's definitely not your fault. It's more on the person. From my own experience, I pushed it all down. Learn to talk about it. If your parents aren't the people to entrust, my parents, it kind of shook their world, and they're kind of them kind of people where it was like, we'll not talk about it. It's one of them things that will go away, and I pushed all that down. I never realised this, but when I did my first exam in personal training, the guy that took the exam actually said to me, Lisa, you have such an advantage, you've no idea, by being a woman. And I was like, really? And he was like, because it's easier to get clients when you're a woman.
I remember being like 15 and I woke up like scarecrow. Like, this is fucking hell.
See the amount of messages I get, people who are like, is this normal? Am I gonna die? But yeah, and it's funny, like the likes of me, I love that pain.
The likes thing fucks me off. I have blocked it out. I don't care anything. Like, anything gets.
I know you do get to a certain stage, but yeah, so.
Always be your head.
I do. I need time out from social media at times. I do, like full time out. Yeah, it just melts me.
Okay, so we're sitting down today with Lisa Barrett on the pod. Lisa is a fitness entrepreneur. She deals with fibromyalgia, and she's an empowerment for women type character. We're just going to sit down and kind of talk about Lisa's journey. So, Lisa, what kind of got you started in the fitness industry, and how did you become a trainer, really?
I just wanted a different lifestyle. I used to be a party animal, and I was always into fitness, and I gave it up when I got pregnant with my son. And then on that journey, I felt really low. Afterwards, I wouldn't even go to the gym after I had my son. And I just wanted to help other people go through, because I know women struggle after they have babies, and they feel it's just embarrassing going into the gym because your body's changed, you've changed, your hormones have changed, and you just feel, whoa, it's just, So that was my reason, and it totally changed my life. I honestly think it saved me.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow. So go into that, like...
well...
You're just in a bad place, and it kind of...
Yeah, just in a bad place, and I just drinking every weekend, partying every weekend, and it really saved me. It changed my life. And I come from a history of alcoholics in the family, and I didn't want that lifestyle. That wasn't for me.
So did you find whenever you kind of got started with your own business, it got your mind out of partying every weekend, and gave you kind of give you purpose? Yeah,
it gave me a totally different purpose, and I believe it sets an example for my son, who would be quite sporty, loves football. I'm actually he's working his way back into the gym and stuff, because now he's realising that it actually helps him with football and stuff like that. So
what age is your wee son?
He is 13.
13, so he's coming into the teenage years?
Yes.
How are you finding that?
He's actually quite a good boy.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. Although he's quite dramatic. He's gone through the whole Kevin and Perry, oh, mom, that kind of attitude. But no, apart from that, he's great. Yeah. Me and him are going on holiday, actually, at Christmas. This will be our first Christmas on our own.
Wow.
So we're going to Gran Canaria.
You're going to have an absolute blast.
Yeah.
So tell us about, you were just saying off camera there before we got started that you're going on a photo shoot next week.
Yes.
So tell us about the diet leading up to that, and how did you get involved with making sure that you're in shape for next week?
It can be tough. This isn't my first one, so I've gone by what I've done before, and obviously tweaked the diet. I've actually been a bit more lax this time to help other girls. I've actually got a client doing it with me this time as well.
So would you be more like, would you be constricted before where it's like, I'm eating this much rice and this much chicken and a dab of sauce, and that's it?
Yeah.
Fuck all else.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this time you're being a bit more flexible?
This time I've had to be a bit more flexible. I had a bereavement in the family and stuff, so I had to go out with my family. So things like that.
Life got in the way.
Life gets in the way. And dieting for 4 months coming into the summer is not really ideal for anybody. Not even for me.
No.
I like a wee drink now and again. And in that weather, you're turning people down. No, I can't. I'm eating chicken and rice tonight.
Yeah.
So
what was your alternative to the chicken and rice then? Did you just give yourself, look, I'll make sure I don't go over my calories.
Make sure I don't go over my
substitute for something else.
Substitute for something else. Try and put in an extra training day, although you can't out-train a bad diet. But when I say, my partner, he laughs at me. When I say I'm bad, he's like, Lisa, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I haven't had bread for 4 months, things like that.
Holy shit.
To be fair, I don't actually eat much bread because I find bread doesn't help. I find with my fibromyalgia, there's certain things that
Flare it up.
And eating bread's one of them, and eating too many carbs is one of them, I find.
Well, you know what? I'm actually going through this this problem at the minute. Not fibromyalgia, like, but I'm getting a very upset stomach, and Georgia thinks is IBS, it's irritable bowel syndrome. Because if I eat certain things, or even if I eat late at night and go to bed, I feel like my stomach turning, and it really bloats me. Is that what IBS is? Or?
Yes, I have had IBS from I was a teenager, so yeah, it can be linked into fibromyalgia as well.
Oh, fucking don't say that. don't jinx me. Touch fucking wood here. Touch wood.
It just you have to learn about what you eat, and there is a lot of foods. Bread's one. Bread really will play havoc with it. So if I do eat bread, I eat sourdough or cornbread. That's it, because it's the only one that doesn't play havoc with my digestive system.
It was Subway that used to get me for some reason. I go to Subway and
love Subway.
Love it.
I love
but
Subway.
It killed me insides.
Yeah.
So I don't know what was going on there. Like.
So go for the wraps.
I may have to. It may actually be the bread.
I actually don't eat Subway bread anymore. I haven't done for a couple of years. Just the wrap. That would be it.
I know, but there's such they're low
it's the smell. It's
great,
smell.
You know? I know. Here, let's crack our monsters and do a wee cheers to the pod, just because it's been looking at me. Cheers, Lisa. Thank you for coming on, love.
No problem. Thanks for having me. Always good to see you.
So going back into what you were saying there about starting the business, how did you actually get it off the ground? Because I can remember, just for people listening, that you started the Shed of Dread, which was with your ex-husband's ex-boyfriend,
ex-boyfriend, yeah.
You were with your ex-boyfriend at the time, and it was in your shared back garden during COVID, and I was like, well, this is Hustler. And now obviously you've got your own spot and you're killing it, and you've got an online coaching platform which I've helped you with, and you're absolutely smashing it. So what was the beginning of She Can Transformations, which is your business?
The beginning was I've always had a personal trainer most of my life, because it's good, the accountability is good.
Can you see the way you might be able to just like put it closer to your, like, tilt it down?
There?
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. So I've always had a personal trainer most of my life. Somebody to be accountable to, somebody to be my agony aunt, all the rest. But it was actually him. He suggested that I do it. He says I had something that a lot of people don't have, and there's also a care nature to the job, which a lot of PTs leave out. So in all round, I'm like a psychiatrist, PT, everybody's agony aunt, everybody's friend, but that's what women need. And you find, I find women come to me and they're like, this is great. This is my hour to myself. And they literally don't stop talking the whole time they're training, even though they're puffed out. And they leave and they're like, Lisa, I'm really sorry. I never shut up. But, you know, they're way happy, and it makes me happy.
Yeah.
So that's how it came about. So
you got a fuck it moment.
I had a fuck it moment.
So this guy said to you, look, I think you should be a PT. You sat in the house and went, fuck it.
I know.
I'm going to do it.
I did. I read into it, and I thought, why not? I've put my heart and soul into training for years on and off, and I was like, I can do this. So I decided to do it part-time. So that's what I did, kept on my old job.
When you say started, right, for people listening who might be thinking, especially young women, because obviously you are a woman and you're a woman in business and you've done this. So for a young woman who wants to get started in any business, what was starting it to you? Was that making a Facebook page? Was that putting a post out on social? What was starting it to you?
The starting point for me was I actually reached out to a few other personal trainers that I knew, and they helped me, and I got advice from them. And then I tried to make up a name, couldn't think of a name. And by that time I had sort of set up working in a gym. So it was all ready to go. But with this Facebook page, I'd got the, what do you call it? The icon thing and all made up and toyed about with it. And he says, go for transformations. And I was like, that's a big one. And he's like, no, go for it. So I took his advice and ran with it, basically. So that was my personal trainer, James. He's actually still a good mate of mine. So he helped me quite a lot along the way.
And that's where...
and he's quite a big businessman. He's into sales, does a wee bit stuff like you do as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Marketing for people listening, by the way. So whenever you had the logo made and the page made, that was it real for you? This is like a real go for it moment.
Yeah, but I was all, I don't want to work in my hometown. I want to go away and work somewhere different because, you know, I just felt like coming out was like it was hard. It was almost like going to the gym again after I had Justin.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I need to go away and start fresh and do this. But then it started to turn out that, like, females I knew from Carrick were traveling to Belfast to train with me. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So I worked in Belfast for a while, and I also worked in Valhalla. So did between the two, and then COVID hit.
Valhalla's no gym in Carrickfergus, people listening, by the way.
And then
so you started off, just so I'm getting the mental frame in my head, and the listeners and viewers can get a mental frame in their head. So you went to your first proper spot was a space in Belfast, where someone said, yeah, Lisa, we'll give you a shot, come on in, bring your own clients, it's X amount per month or whatever, and you said, no problem. And how did you actually get these first clients? Did you text them, or you put a post up on Facebook and they got back to you? Or I
didn't actually sell myself. It was that personal trainer again. It was James. Him. He says, look, I'll connect you with a few people, and he actually connected me with a few women from Slimming World, because now Slimming World's kind of getting into the exercise thing. They're not doing it's just, you know, lose weight. Or it's not just lose weight on the scales. They're pushing people in the exercise. So I connected with a few girls from that. And it just rolled from there. And then all of a sudden it was just like, I was like, I have to make a decision. I didn't know what to do. I was like working crazy hours. I was doing my own job, doing that. I wasn't getting in at 11 o'clock every night and maybe away from 6 in the morning. So yeah,
that was the hustle though. Look,
that was the hustle to do it. And to be honest, even looking back now, I'm like, how on earth did I ever do that? But I was just constantly running on adrenaline, and it was an amazing time for me, because I just kept. There was all new things, new gym, new people, and just feeling like a new person. I was creating this business and creating a version of myself that I didn't actually know that was there.
Yeah.
And then she became me.
So I feel like you almost so you were saying there, when you look back and you're like, how did I even do that? I feel like when you're in it, you get in the flow almost. You're like, I need to do this. There is no ifs or buts.
Yes.
I need to do this. So perfect example for me, whenever I had to close logos and I had to start, basically I've been doing video for 10 years, but I had to make a new company because I kind of dropped my company off and wanted kind of like you said, a fresh start.
Yeah.
So I started a fresh company, a fresh marketing company, and I was like, I went, fuck, I haven't done this here in 2 years. And then I was like, I need to make this work. So I was like in that flow state where I will walk through Belfast City Centre in a 3-piece, knock on fucking business and say, hey, have you got any video? Do you need any video work done? Do you need any marketing done? What are you doing at the minute?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And I feel like you would have been in the same spot, but in personal training.
Yeah.
And I feel like you do have to almost drown yourself for something to be successful, because if you just dabble in it and you just do it part-time but you still stay committed to your full-time job, you'll probably always still be in your full-time job and just dabble for a few extra quid, whereas people who want it, like me and you just go fucking all in, just cut the other thing out. That's taken away from my business, fuck off. Boom.
I just literally had a fucking hell moment that day, and I just went, do you know what it is? My other job's gone. And that was never the plan all along. The plan was just to keep that on the side, so there would always be a stable income coming in.
See, this is the problem though.
And I was just like, no, it is. It's done.
That's it. You gotta take risks.
Yeah.
See,
that was a massive risk, and this was all before COVID as well. And then obviously when COVID hit, I was like, holy shit.
Right, I fucked it. I don't have enough in my books here. I fucked it.
Yeah, so
So, did you quit your job then? Did you just hit them?
I did.
How did you quit? Did you send them a notice, or just say, "Look, I'm not coming back"?
I rang them and gave them a notice. I worked my notice. Like,
Did you?
I did actually.
You were a good employee, so you
I
were,
know,
Lisa.
I was. Because I was just like, oh, but yeah, it was a total fucking moment because I'd been there for years.
Where were you before?
I was actually a community care worker.
Fuck, right. Going around all the homes looking after people.
And at one point I was actually training to do nursing and stuff like that as well, and I just threw everything to the caution to the wind. Shit. And just went,
Got any mad stories about that?
About being out working in the community.
Yeah, because I'm sure some people have got shit in the walls and all sorts of mad stuff. Like,
too many. To be honest, I loved it. It's the companies that are bad.
Right.
Working for them Pacific companies is shit.
Why? What, would they treat you bad, or
they
what?
treat their care staff like dirt, and they're
Right.
out there looking after people, cleaning people, and taking care of people with no families and stuff, and they just treat you like dirt. That's why a lot of women leave. It's hard. It is hard work, but if you're that kind of person, and I think I am, I do actually enjoy that kind of work. You know, some of them people don't see anybody all day. Even saying that, it makes me sad because you think of it, if you don't see anybody all day and they look so forward to seeing you. It's sad when you look at life like that, you know. People maybe in their 80s who have never married, so they've not many connections. It's scary.
So you're basically the only people that they saw all day, and they were super excited to see you, and you were in there for 20 minutes, half an hour, sorted all their stuff, and then said,
yeah, if you got half an hour, you'd be lucky.
Was it just it had to be like
the way? Yeah, it had to be really quick. And that was the thing. Sometimes you had to leave your current side at the door, and I'm unfortunately that kind of person. I'm not.
You're
it's
an empath.
hard.
You like
I really take it all in.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wears you down. So it does.
Was it mostly old people you were dealing with, or was there like
no, there was young
adults?
people as well. Young adults and stuff.
Is there no like danger of being attacked or anything like that?
There is dangers.
Is there two of yous, or what?
Well, some runs there would be two, or it would be a single run. So it just depends.
Yeah.
The single runs wouldn't have went on too late at night, but yeah, there is an element of danger in it. Because you don't know what you're walking into. You're walking into somebody's house, and you're also letting yourself in. You're not, wrapping the door and waiting for them to stay open. You know, you're walking in there. I mean, I've seen people be carted off in ambulances and then find out later that they've died, or
Fuck.
you know. So it's amazing. Like, so when you pass people in the car, because I still look at the girls when they drive by me, and you think, you know, they're doing an amazing job and they don't get appreciated enough for it. It's the same as nurses.
It seems to be that we've got everything arched about face when it comes to looking after people, because see, whenever I'm very old and you're very old, see these people who do come in, you look at them and you're like, thank God you exist. Thank God you exist in society. Because without these people, you would just be sitting there wallowing until you die.
That's it.
But they're one of the least paid, or well, not least paid, but they're one of the worst paid in terms of what skill set they have.
Yeah. I mean, I have a great aunt and uncle who are in their 90s. One's 93, one's 91. And we've taken care of them for a long, long time, but you do actually need them, even though I come from a current background and I can help get her out of bed and stuff. There comes a time where it just you need more than one person, and you need, you know, people coming in regularly. It's a hard thing.
Yeah. So going on there about you being a care worker and then going into this industry now, the fitness industry, and helping women kind of get in the fitness again and find their body again almost. Do you feel that because you are almost an empath and you can understand people's struggles, that it helps you whenever it comes to having new clients and helping them with their problems?
It does, yeah, because I think I am quite a relatable person, and I've been through quite a lot, so I do you know, I do connect with a lot of people, and I can actually this is going to sound crazy, like, but some people can come through my door and I can feel off them. I can feel it. What's happened to them what's happened to me happened to them. Now this is a bit of a revelation, like, but I'm talking about rape. I was raped years ago, and I didn't deal with it very well. So, and I actually had another personal trainer. He actually picked up on it as well. He was able to tell just by my nervousness and different things. So yeah. So, and I have seen it. I've seen it, feel it off women. And, you know, when it happened to me, it was quite a taboo thing. And I didn't really talk about it. I didn't do anything about it. And I wish I did. I wish I'd have spoke up more about it. But it's just one of them things. And it took me a long time to come to terms with it. I got a counsellor and stuff. I actually would say, truth be told, it's probably only the last 5 years that I've actually really dealt with it. But in terms of that, to do with fitness has helped me along the way to do with that. It gives me purpose, rather than sitting about wallowing and feeling sorry for myself. Why did this happen to me? So yeah.
Well, I hope that bastard rots in hell anyway, whoever it is.
Yeah.
It's a horrible thing. Anything like that to go on to anyone is horrible. I'm sorry that happened to you, Lisa. And any women that are out there that's dealing with that kind of thing, I think we could say from your perspective there is to speak out and to become empowered in your own body. It seems like that's almost what you've took on. This experience is you've empowered yourself via your own body.
I, for a long time, hated the way I looked. And I think it was all to do with that. I hated the way I looked. I wanted to change myself. I wanted to change the way the person I was. And that's why I wanted to stop partying and stuff too, because this person was supposed to be a friend of mine and not much of a friend. But anyway, so yeah, it was not being in them situations anymore. And I just didn't want to be that. Now this all happened long before Justin was born. But yeah, so...
So that was kind of like almost a wake up call where I can't be around these kind of people.
Yeah.
There's people with bad intents in these parties, and like you do hear about certain parties and certain things going on, and you know a lot of sexual abuse does go on, especially whenever you know you've left your friends and you're the only one there and all that kind of things. And I think young women do need to understand almost, because I've been in I can't say I've seen any of that, but I can say that I've seen young women put themselves in vulnerable situations where there's 8 fellas in a house and she's left her friends to just sit there and party with them. Now I think I like to look at people and take them at face value that everyone's a good person, but everyone's not a good person. So you shouldn't put yourself in them situations. And now that I'm a dad, if I heard Poppy was in a party with 8 fellas by herself, the jacket's on and I'm out to get her, like, because I just couldn't be around that, thinking, you know, what happens if one will take advantage of her. It's
scary. And the thing is, when the night it happened to me, I actually had no intention of going to a party. I was at Ollie's and got a taxi home, and this person literally, well, you know where my parents live, but they intentionally came from Belfast in a taxi to get me. So yeah, so even looking back on it now, but obviously I had a lot of drink in me. I got changed into my jeans and stuff, and I was like, no, I'll come and get you. But I mean, he literally busted my arm and stuff. To be fair, like, even me talking about it now, it's like, I can't even believe I'm talking about this. But yeah, I've come a long way. I would never have really shared it, but the last load of years I've started to open up about it and talk about it, because I think that that's what women need to hear. And this was also somebody that I trusted. So, you know, it's like, yeah. And it's okay to stand up for yourself. If that's my only regret, but maybe at the time it wasn't right for me. Maybe I just didn't have the strength to do it.
Yeah, it seems like
but now I'm doing it.
But that's a good thing, because there will be people out there that these things happen to, and you've been there, you've done it, you've found yourself again, you're empowering yourself. Like, what advice can you give to that person who's maybe been through a traumatic experience? Might not just be that, might be anything. Very traumatic experience that they don't want to talk about. How do they get out of their shell and start to feel okay in their own skin again?
Yeah.
What advice would you give them?
I would say it's definitely not your fault. It's more on the person. From my own experience, I pushed it all down. So I would say learn to talk about it. If your parents aren't the people to entrust, my parents, it kind of shook their world, and they're kind of them kind of people where it was like, we'll not talk about it. It's one of them things that will go away. And I pushed all that down and pushed it far too much down.
Yeah.
And just over the years, it just came up, every now and again and just exploded, which screwed with people that were close to me, relationships. There was quite a few years in my life that I couldn't even be touched. Justin's dad at one point, we wouldn't have slept in the same bed and stuff because I just couldn't bear to be touched because I had never dealt with this that had happened to me. But obviously I have done that now. So yeah, I would say don't push it down, and talk about it and get yourself a counsellor.
Right. Okay.
Somebody professional that will listen to you and listen to your opinion, and be there for you. Yeah.
So just let's pivot that in the mental health, because obviously that is a big part of mental health, is what you said there, from the traumatic experience to after with mental health problems. Do you find that, I find, but I want your opinion on this, do you find that whenever you do kind of get in the fitness, whether it's going for walks, going to the gym, that your mental health actually does increase? You feel better in your own skin.
100%.
Your days are better set, or
100%. There's days I have crap days.
So does everyone. Everyone.
Even with the fibromyalgia or just thinking stuff, I'd be like, no, I can't be bothered today. You go to the gym and you come out and you feel like, fuck, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
This is why you do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this, for me, that's why I've always had a personal trainer, and I need my personal trainer, because training people all day long, you're like, oh, no. I'm like, no, I'm too tired tonight, I'll just go home. But yeah, so it gives me somebody to go and be accountable to and have a chat to and come out and feel like that was so worth it.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Yeah, I totally agree that accountability is something that everyone needs.
The accountability
is
just as special as the nutrition and whatever else, because see, just having somebody to talk to vent to, or just to say, right, give me a kick up the ass, or I did this, I drank too much at the weekend, or I ate too much, or whatever, what should I do? So yeah.
Well, I think we can take from that, like, the accountability you're saying is whoever it is, like, because some people might not be able to afford a trainer, and
yes,
I can understand that. What I would say to them is find someone who wants to go to gym with you.
Exactly.
Or if you can't find anyone who wants to go to gym with you, put your earphones in, go for a walk. That'll get you into the swing of just being out and moving your body, because I think if you move your body, you just feel better. Yeah.
Well, when my mental health was bad, I did a lot of running. And I always run in the evenings, sort of when the sun was setting and stuff. And I always felt crap up until that point. And once I sort of got to the 5K mark, then the adrenaline started kicking in, and I was like, yes, this is it. And then the run home was always amazing.
Yeah,
so it always changed the way I felt. Yeah.
Yeah. So see, whenever someone comes on and joins GCAN Transformations, how do you actually gauge what to start training them with? I'm not quite wording this question right, but I mean, like, so someone comes in fresh, not really in the gym, you don't really know their capabilities. How do you build something out for them? How do you make them get interested in the gym again? Is it more just talking to them, or like what is it?
It's a wee bit of talking before. I always try and either speak to them on the phone or chat or ask them about, their training abilities. Do they have any experience? Do they come from any sort of background, or what their interest is? Because I have people come to me and they're like, I hate the gym. Do you know what I mean? I just want to lose weight, or I just want to look toned. I hate the gym.
Everything has sacrifice.
Yeah.
Everything. Don't matter what it is.
So, yeah, it's just about talking. And then the first sort of session, even the first 10 minutes, I can sort of tell. I have like a sort of a beginner, an intermediate, and an advanced plan, right? And I sort of slide people into them. And then I personalize it. So in about 10 minutes, you can tell,
Yeah.
what category they fit into.
Yeah, you can just kind of see where I'll put them, and then as things progress, you'll give them more intermediate workouts, and then more advanced workouts, and then nutrition. Just what do you say for nutrition for someone who's coming in?
Nutrition is the key, unfortunately.
That is, isn't it?
It is the key. It makes everything go together. You can train all the time, and if your nutrition's crap, it'll not do anything.
No.
So this is where people get lost. But what I say is baby steps. So if you're coming to the gym, you're a bad eater, take a couple of weeks, start going to the gym, get over the dawn pain for a start.
Yeah.
Because some people can't cope with that.
I remember being like 15 and I woke up like scarecrow. Like, this is fucking hell.
See the amount of messages I get, people who are like, is this normal? Am I gonna die? But yeah, and it's funny, like the likes of me, I love that pain. But yeah.
But you're a freak of nature. Like,
I am a freak of nature.
I can do pain anywhere, but the leg pain's the worst.
I love leg pain.
Oh, no way. That's fucked up. Nope. Leg pain is a no for me. Like,
oh dear.
Well, look, let's talk about your fibromyalgia.
Okay.
So a lot of people in the UK and around the world deal with fibromyalgia, and it can be a debilitating kind of disease. And whenever it flares up, it's like, I'm not moving, I feel horrible, pains are kicking in, blah, blah, blah. How do you fight through that? Because even when you have flare-ups, you still make yourself go to work and you still make yourself work out, which is a feat in itself.
Yeah, it is rough. I actually felt a flare-up coming on this week. This is probably the quickest I've ever went into one and come out of it. I don't know if it's just a coincidence. It's just like somebody hits you with a truck. You're so tired. It doesn't matter how much sleep you have. You're just constantly tired. Getting out of bed's the worst. I don't sleep properly, then getting out of bed to go for clients early and stuff. I literally sit and pump coffee into me, have painkillers sitting. But the reason I do that, push myself that way, is because I don't want to give up. Because I feel there's two options. I could give up and take that road, but I believe that this debilitating thing would take me more. And I would get worse, because there's studies to say that the more movement you have, the better. But getting through the movement can be hard.
Yeah.
There is a balance. There is a balance of too much, too little. And I've had that as well, where I've done too much. And I overburn myself, and then I'm tired, I'm sore, I've no patience, and I still can't sleep even though I'm exhausted. So yeah, getting out of bed is awful for me. But I'm not a quitter, and I don't really want to. I didn't build this business, and I want other people, and speaking to people, I actually have clients who have fibromyalgia and autoimmune diseases, and they suffer from a lot of the same symptoms. And giving up is not an option for any of us. Because once you give into it, how much more are you going to give in? If you give in for, say, a week, it's going to get worse. That's the way I look at it. I've tried all the medications, and I find exercise and a better diet is one of the best for me.
Yeah, so what you're saying is, for anyone who's dealing with these kind of diseases, that, look, you've got your two options. It's you can let this take over, or you can just fight through. It might be shit, but as long as you're doing something to combat it, for you, it's making sure that your business ticks and making sure you work out and you keep active, because it's a very important part of your life. So for whatever that is for these other people, fight through it, make it to work, have a laugh, go to the gym, have someone to keep you accountable if you can afford it. Yeah. And that's the best advice you can give for that.
Yeah. I mean, there is times I do have to make sacrifices. Sometimes it is a choice for me between work or going out at the weekend. And sometimes by the time it gets to the weekend, I'm like, I can't.
Yeah. Need to recharge almost.
I need to recharge, yeah. If I have been flat out for work with a good couple of weeks with not much break, I need a full day and a half downtime.
Yeah.
And that's practically doing nothing.
Yeah.
But that's unfortunately, that's just the way it is for me. It's either for me, it's either that or it's giving up, and I don't want to give up.
Yeah. Do you find with like social media, a lot of women these days kind of have self-image problems where they're looking at kind of these beautiful women on Instagram, TikTok,
Yeah.
Facebook, and going, why do I not look like that?
Yeah.
And then they'll starve themselves and they'll work out and they'll be in amazing shape, but because they don't have a massive fake ass like Kim K or something,
Yeah.
they're still like, I just don't feel right. Like,
They're torturing themselves.
what's your opinion on that? Like social media and women's
social
self-image.
media is rough. I hate social media, as you know. It's not really my favorite thing. But in terms of, there's so many people come to me and they're like, I hate myself and I want to change this, and they're constantly looking at social media, and you know, it's like even wrinkles. Women hate wrinkles now. You know what I mean? I don't know wrinkles because of Botox.
Disclaimer.
Thank God for Botox. But it is. It's rough. And it's only going to get rougher, unfortunately, by the looks of things. Anytime I go on TikTok, I get lost watching things like surgeries or you just go down. I just go down a rabbit hole when I go onto it. So I try not to, because I'm just gobsmacked at the crap that's on it.
Yeah. So I feel like it's because I have a little sister who's coming in around that age now. Like she's 11, she's going to be 12 soon, and I look back to whenever I was like 11 and 12, and like the girls had a full face of Elizabeth Arden fucking foundation, cut cake, and then nothing else, no lipstick, no nothing. And I was like, yeah, you're looking all right. Yeah. But these days, like 13-year-olds are like fully contouring their face.
I know,
fake eyelashes, or because they're seeing it on TikTok and they're seeing it here, or they feel ugly, and like. I see my little sister at the minute and she keeps wearing makeup and I'm like, you're fucking 11, you're P7 here. Like, why is she feeling the need to beautize herself? And it's because of TikTok, because she goes on TikTok
and social media. Yeah.
How
because they're idolizing these women. Where when I was younger, I used to idolize Jane Fonda. That was my mom.
Yeah, quick Google search here. I know who that is.
My mom.
Jane Fonda.
Yeah, because my mom was used to do her exercise videos back in the day when you had videos.
Jane Fonda looks alright here.
Yeah, so I loved Jane Fonda. I loved watching her exercise videos. She was kind of like
85 years of age now. I
know.
Looks great for 85.
I know. But yeah, that was my thing back in the day.
But see, she seems like a very classy woman, right? But who does the current generation look up to? Ice Spice, who would jump on and shake her arse in about 3 seconds and talk about all sorts of mad shit that we'll not talk about here, but just shagging and drugs and men and blah blah. Same with Cardi B.
Yeah.
And she's one of the most explicit songs a woman's ever released, etc., etc. This is what young women are looking up to now. Yeah. And I feel like we're going to go full circle, because as much as whenever you're young, right, young men and women, that everything's very sexualized. Look what she's wearing, like her titties are out, she's got nice stomach, blah blah, and the fellas all want to go with this girl and blah blah blah. See, when you're like 35, right? See, if you're 35 and you go out looking like that, most men will look at you around 35, 40 and go, I'm not going with that. That's got a shitload of problems. Probably got a few baby daddies in the back, you know. They don't realise that, you know, because whenever you were looking up to the likes of, I'm looking at Jane Fonda here, these women had class. Yeah. You know what I mean? It feels like we're becoming almost classless. It's not the same and anymore. Everything's just sexualized. Yeah. Everything's quick sexualized. Yeah. Let's sexualize everything. It's from one fad to another. The fads seem to change so quickly, which is awful, especially for young teenagers. I mean, you have the Kardashians. The whole big butt thing was, you know, it was a thing. Yeah, she broke the internet with hers. Yeah, but it's actually, she's moving away from that. You know, she's gone into the skinny phase now, where now it'll be back to being skinny. Yeah. For women, you know, so it's changing that quick. So, I mean, what's this telling young girls? You know, what's it putting into their head? Well, now that she's a mum now, and her daughter's starting to get a little bit older, like I don't know, she's like 8 or 9. And I've noticed that, just talking about Kim Kardashian, that a lot of her stuff nowadays isn't very sexualized. Yeah. She's gone away from it all. And I'm like, Why
But
is
that's
that?
what happens
Because
when you
just-
become a parent.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Could you imagine, like I've mentioned this in our podcast, but could you imagine being in school and someone found out that your mum was an OnlyFans model? That is bullying
know.
from hell for a young person.
I know.
And I don't think that a lot of these young women realize that they want to be mums one day.
I know.
When you're 21, you don't think about being a mum.
I've been asked jokingly loads of times, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like, imagine Justin getting into school and going at them saying, "Your ma's only fans."
You know what I mean?
Oh.
It could lead to some serious things.
I know.
All we see these days, especially in Northern Ireland, is young people that take their life.
Yeah,
Because of bullying. There was one there a couple of months ago where the young girl was 13 and she went up the wherever it was and killed herself and put it on Snapchat that that's me done. I look at these things and go, what the fuck?
I know.
When you're 13, you can feel like that kind of pain where you go and do something that's irreversible.
I know. And the thing is, a child should be a child, you know what I mean?
100%.
Until they come of age. And obviously I've done photo shoots before in my underwear and stuff. I mean, Justin's never seen them. And I would probably...
Right, look, your underwear's all right here, Lisa. Your underwear's all right, love.
I know. But I mean, that's a big deal even for me, you know? You know, so... Yeah, even thinking for that perspective, no.
So I again, even like just you saying about he hadn't seen them. I want to put it to the extreme. When people are doing pure like hard porn, right? Hard porn on OnlyFans. That is going to corrupt your child's mind when they become a teenager. Yeah, that will corrupt their mind because they start to dabble in the whole sexual things. Yeah, and you're their fucking mum.
Oh, it breeds.
And whenever a lot of porn it's fake. It's fake. It's degrading for women, and this is your mum.
This is your mum with your tits out.
It's going to create a fucking epidemic of young men and women having fucked up mental illnesses because of things
that it's okay to just do that.
Because it's so before in the porn industry, I can't believe we're getting fully in the porn here.
I know.
But, before in the porn industry, you had to get into it. Nowadays, it's go on. I know. Make a username for OnlyFans, set up your bank account.
Funny us talking about that because I actually was on Carrickfergus Instagram last night. I think I just came across it and I was on, and it's all her OnlyFans stuff.
Shut the fuck up. Carrickfergus on OnlyFans. Yeah. Shut up.
Honestly, go and take a look at her Instagram.
Look, you can.
It's crazy.
I thought she had money. Like, obviously, she doesn't have enough money. I'm just having to jump to that. But what I'm trying to say there is the barrier for entry now is very, very low. Before it would have been very taboo. You would have had to go like get your kid off in front of like a production company, blah blah blah. But now it's make a username and start recording yourself in the house and
post some of your dirty knickers.
And posting your dirty knickers or whatever else, and the money starts coming and it's rolling. And now you're going out and you're getting your fucking Fendi bags or whatever, your Fendi t-shirts and all this other designer gear, and then 3, 4 years, 5 years down the line, you go, right, I'm 26 now and I really want to settle down. And what you'll find is that most men are going to use you. Yeah. Because as much as it's shite, men have locker room talk. And see, if I was in the pub or the bar with all my fellas and I went with my OnlyFans girl, you best believe they're getting the pictures up my girl. And they're giving me banter about it. So,
well, I actually had a client who was an OnlyFans girl. And her photos were leaked at one point. She was only a young girl, and that's what she wanted to do. But yeah, her photos were leaked at one point.
Fuck, right. So is she still an OnlyFans model?
She's not my client anymore, but as far as more, yes.
See, I'm against it. I'm against it.
My words to her were, because she had said to me, you know, you could do it, you're in shape or whatever, and I'm like,
here, Lisa, you want to make some money, love? You want to make some fast money? Let's collab.
I have got a son to worry about, and I don't want him looking and going, oof. Yep. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Plus, I don't think I could do it. Yeah. It sort of to me, how could your partner cope with that?
I wouldn't be your partner.
I don't really think my husband to be would love it either.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? It's a very sacred thing, a man and a woman's relationship, or a man, a woman, whatever. It's a sacred thing, you know what I mean?
Because people are basically paying you, from what I take out of OnlyFans, you know, people are paying you big money to, and you're basically having like a relationship because you have to talk to them all the time, or you have to do these weird shit for them.
I know this because you obviously have insider knowledge here. You have insider knowledge because this girl was your client. She's probably going, here, fucking someone asked me to get the knickers off and send the socks.
Like, yeah, the things that she was asked to do was just gross, disgusting. I mean, for hundreds, thousands.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, you can understand why some women just go, hell yeah.
But it's,
do you know what I mean? But you literally can. I mean, I remember thinking of hearing so, and I was like, you did what? For that much? I don't even earn that much in a fucking month.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
I know.
It's, yeah. So.
Look, temptation's the devil, but.
The temptation's the devil, but there's repercussions. I mean, especially for women. You know what I'm saying?
It's like if I was the devil and I had this contract. You ever heard of sign a deal with the devil?
Yeah.
It's sign this contract, you get all this money, you can have any house you want, you have this, and then you sign the contract, you fucking realise quickly you're never going to have a husband, you've corrupted your child's mind, you're going to get depressed, you're going to want to kill yourself.
I know.
Like, you don't see all these things down the line, because what I see, even from big name comes to mind, was an ex-porn star called Mia Khalifa. Yeah. She got abused. Well, I don't know about abused, but coerced. She got coerced into the porn industry when she was like 18, was in it for a couple of years, and then left it. And now she's basically lifting the lid on it and being like, look, I got the money. Got given money 18, 19, 20. Yeah. That was all I saw was the money. And now my fucking head is fucked and my image is forever tarnished, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is a girl.
The reality.
This is the reality.
There's actually, I can't remember the name of it, but there's actually a program, a drama on Netflix, a short series. It's about a girl, a porn star. And it actually shocked me. Now, it wasn't real, but I just watching, I was like, that happens, because there was rape in it. She was treated like shit. They didn't care about her once she got to a certain age, and it was all like, whoa, that's reality of it. Yeah.
So let's get away from the
porn.
The porn a wee bit here. Let's get out of that a wee second and go into kind of the women in business thing. So I actually am in an office building which has women in business in it. Uh-huh. And I don't feel like a lot of young women are pushed into business. I feel like, okay, nail tech and hairdresser stuff, yes, I can see a lot of women starting businesses there. Yeah. Anywhere else on the scope of businesses, I'm not seeing too many women out there tackling these things. How do we get women to actually take the leap of faith in themselves and start businesses?
To step up.
Because you've done this.
If I had my time over again, I would have loved to have started younger and branch out.
Yeah.
Probably into meals.
Yeah.
That would be meals. My own meals would have been the next
thing.
Never
say never.
But never
this could be clipped. It's going to be clipped in 5 years. You'll be seeing you like fucking Andy Malone in the shops. I'll be like, here.
Never say never. But yeah, I would love to sell the whole package. You know what I mean? There's the meals. There's everything.
Yeah. How do we get these young women in the business? How do we get them away from thinking about fucking OnlyFans or whatever else? Because, you know, I think I read a statistic and it was 50% or 60% of all millionaires are business owners. And all the rest of them is like 5% in like real estate, 2% in like stocks, blah, 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 blah. And then like some in jobs, blah, blah, blah. But most millionaires, most people who become incredibly wealthy have a business.
Yeah.
And a good portion of them million in the business owners are men, because a lot of women don't even take that leap.
Yeah, it can be hard for women to put themselves out there. And what's inspiring these days is aesthetics and surgeries and stuff. And as you say, as was talked about earlier, what you look like. So that's the thing. Yeah. And then once women have children, some don't go back to work and stuff too. Yeah, so it is still a man's world in some ways.
Yeah, I can understand. See, any woman who wants to start a family and has a man who is going to, say, I'll bring in the bread. I'm all for that part, because that's very traditional, and I'll stand behind that at the end of the time. But there's a lot of women out there, especially younger people just a bit younger than me that really don't ever plan to have kids and just are very career focused.
Yeah.
They're the kind of people that should go off and branch and start businesses, because they'll be the one that bring other opportunities to other women. That's just how I see it. I feel like women should empower other women, just as men do empower other men. When it comes to certain things. But how do we get more females interested in business? Because Kylie Jenner comes to mind whenever it comes to business, because she was the first billionaire who was under whatever it was 21 years of age. And even looking at her, it's like, you can start your own makeup range. There is things that men will not can't do, but wouldn't. It would be a very female dominated area. So females should surround each other and support each other in them worlds.
It's even the same. I never realized this, but when I did my first exam in personal training, the guy that took the exam actually said to me, Lisa, you have such an advantage, you've no idea, by being a woman. And I was like, really? And he was like, because it's easier to get clients when you're a woman. And I was like, I've all my personal trainers bar one was a man, because I thought that nobody could push me hard enough. That's what I believed until I met the right personal trainer. So
shout out Carol.
Big shout out to Carol, who kicks my ass regularly. But so that was kind of my perception, even of the fitness industry, predominantly men, and you know what I mean. So, and even now, even in the Carrickfergus area, there isn't actually that many female trainers.
Again, I don't know any now.
I
know one, and they're dabbling in it.
Thinking back to everyone, they're all gone. Although there's a client of mine who's doing her, she'll be nearly finished her level 2.
Look at that, just breeding them now.
I'm breeding them. So she says it was me inspired her. So so she is doing her level 3 next year.
Love that.
And I have told her, and I've sat down and talked to her, and when she trains with me, told her what I done and how I done it and stuff.
Love
so
it.
So there'll be one maybe soon.
Yeah. So are you an advocate for women getting in the business then? Do you think women should take the leap in the business?
I do.
And go for it?
Yeah, I do. To me, it's such an accomplishment. And when I look back, even I did a post about 6 months ago and looked back, even the post was about the last 2 years kind of, and I was like, holy hell, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've actually did that in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely.
See, because I have a daughter now, like, who's about to turn 1 here in 17 days, which is not the fastest year of my life. But see, just it's changed my kind of perception of the world a bit, because I want her to feel like she's got a lot of opportunities.
Yes.
Now, if she grows up and she wants to find a man who's a capable man who wants to look after and have a family, I'm all for that as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do believe in them traditional values. But if she wants to go for it and says, Dad, I want to start my own business, Dad, I want to do that, I want her to realise that these are opportunities that she can have.
Yeah. This is the thing too, the problem I had. I didn't really have anybody around me that supported me or believed in me. So during all my fuck up moments, my parents were like, really? And I was like, yes, really? And I went and I did it. And I actually at one point didn't speak to my mum for 3 months because of it. And I went and I did it, and I can't say nothing now.
That's it.
So
see what you just said there, and I think it's a bit of advice for everyone. Is the people closest to you will be the first ones to doubt you.
Yeah,
they'll be the ones that, because it's not out of a place of hatred or a place of jealousy.
It's a place of worry.
It's a place of worry, because you are putting a risk out there, and as their family members or whatever. Maybe not your friends, but when we're talking family, they'll think you shouldn't take that risk because you have a home, you have a son, you have a daughter, whatever it is. Yeah. And they start thinking kind of risk adversely and be like, oh, you have a good job, you have this. So I have a good story there as well. Whenever I said I was going to start logos, I knew fuck all about cooking food, by the way. Logos is a Mexican for anyone that's listening. I knew nothing about food. My mum banned me from cooking whenever I was 14 because I nearly burnt the house down cooking cheese on toast. And so I said to them, I came in and it was just coming out from COVID. And actually, it might have been mid-COVID. And I said, look, I'm going to start a Mexican. And they were like, what are you talking about? Like, I walked into my mum's. I was still living at my mum's at the time. I came in my pajama bottoms. I was like, Mum, I'm starting a Mexican. She was like, what are you on about? I said, look, I'm going to get a loan. I'm going to find somewhere. I'm going to start a Mexican. I've got a fella who I know well, who's a chef, who's going to design the menu, blah, blah. And she was like, all right. I'll see it when it happens, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right. Went down to my granny, said the same thing, and she goes, oh Josh, you can't be doing that, you can't be doing that, you're doing weddings and you're doing that, you can't be doing that there, like you need to focus on your weddings. And I was like, Granny, look, I'll be sweet kid, watch this space. So a few weeks passed, blah blah blah, and then it turns out that I might have to do it myself because I fell out very briefly with this chef, and he was like, he wanted more money, blah blah blah, and I couldn't afford it. And I went back and I just signed a lease for this building.
Yeah.
No fucking idea how I was going to get the money to fucking buy all the stuff in it, by the way. But went back and she was like, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do now? You need to ask him, can you get out of this? And I said, look, don't worry about it. See if it comes to it. I'll throw on a fucking chef outfit and I'll get a grill plate and I'll sit and I'll cook everything myself in that grill plate. And she was like, what the fuck? But I just had it in my head. I will make this work. No matter what? I will make this work. And no one would give me a loan, which quickly found out because of COVID, and like nowhere was giving out loans. So I said, fuck it. Went on, got 5 different credit cards on my name, maxed every single fucking one of them out, buying everything for the shop. Didn't have a fucking clue if anyone was going to turn up. Didn't have a clue who was going to bring in the shop. Didn't have a clue about cooking. Didn't know about gas. Didn't know about food standards and all that other shit. Brought in a friend, Josh Crawford. Shout out Josh Crawford. And he was like, don't worry about it, mate. Anything food related, I got this. I said, no fucking sweat. We opened the first day, and the first day we sold out in 2.5 hours.
I know, I remember. It was crazy.
We sold it in 2.5 hours. And see, after that day, I went up to my mum, put on pajama bottoms, walked in the room again and said, told you, kid, don't you fucking worry about it. And it's all about belief, because everyone will doubt
self-belief.
You. But see, if you don't fucking doubt yourself, you can make it work.
I had the self-belief. I was the same. You couldn't have stopped me. And I think it was more the fact that they said to me they didn't believe, or they were worried in certain aspects, and I was just like, just watch me go.
Because they don't have a frame of reference. See, like if me and you're having a chat, and see if you said to me, Josh, I'm going to start doing meals next year. I go, right, how are you doing it? How you doing it? Tell me, like, right, what suppliers you going for? Oh, what flavors you going for? I would believe in you. Yeah. Because I know that I know people who do these things, and I know it's a possibility. But you go and say that to someone, for example, who's working in BT and doing the phones in BT, to go, aye, right, how you doing that? How you going to do that then? Yeah. Well, you don't know anything about it. You get what I'm saying?
But that's the thing. There is, that's what holds people back about what will people think of me. It did cross my mind, what will people think of me? I said it earlier on. That's why I went to Belfast to start off working.
Fuck people.
Exactly. Fuck them.
Fuck them, because you know what? People, maybe whenever you first pop up, they'll be like, who she thinks she is. But see what you quickly realise, people actually don't care that much.
No.
They'll maybe pass a comment, but they'll actually not care that much. And then, because like you might see on your Facebook or your Instagram or whatever, and be like, they're a dick. But that's like, and then they're in your mind, that's gone. But to that person, they might think, oh my God, everyone's looking at me. Oh my God, this has got less than 10 likes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think the likes thing fucks me off. I have blocked it out. I don't care how many likes anything gets.
I know, you do get to a certain stage, but yeah.
Toys for your head.
I do. I need time out from social media at times. I do, like full time out. Yeah. It just melts me.
See, whenever I see,
because it's just so fake.
It is. I'm sorry to tell you, but and another thing that I think young people don't understand is getting likes on Facebook and getting likes on Instagram doesn't mean that you're winning in life. It really doesn't. I know people who are influencers on TikTok who get massive amount of likes, massive amount of views. And you know how much money they get from it? Fucking barely a bean.
Nothing.
Barely a bean. They're still working in the chippy and they're still working in the Chinese or whatever the fuck. And I'm going, this is the fake perception, because young people look at that and think, oh my goodness, they're getting all these likes and all this, and they're going to be making all this money, when they're not. They're really, really not.
Yeah.
Because they're not that way inclined. They're not business minded. And it's the same with people who think they're popular on social media, but they might realize that they've got a really bad, no one will realize they've got a really bad relationship with their family, and they're actually struggling to have any
and
connection with their kids or whatever. Yeah. But on social media, they're, you know, in Gran Canaria living their best life.
It's my perception is, where do these people get their time? Where do you literally get the time to post all the time? I mean, I struggle with it. You know, I struggle to be a mom, to have a business, to have a life, a private life. You know what I mean? How do you differentiate the two?
Yeah. I mean, nowadays, I think things change when you have a kid. I feel like, for me, my typical day before would have been a lot different than now. I'd have been like going out a lot more and cared about things I don't give a fuck about now. Now it's my business. It goes family, business, everything else can be fucking interchanged. I love the gym and stuff, and I'll make time for the gym, but I mean, my business and my family are the two most important things in my life. My business is what will protect me through everything. You know,
it pays your bills.
It pays my bills, and God forbid if I walked in and my missus and she was cheating on me, I go, right, I'm going to work. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how I see things. But one last question for you, because we're coming up to the hour. What advice can you give to your 18-year-old self about life?
Ooh, that's a big question, Josh. My 18-year-old self, I would say, go for it. Everything you want is there. It's in within reach, and even when you doubt yourself, believe. Because I have doubted myself too many times, or let things will I won't do, and it takes a lot for me to just go fuck it. So yeah, I would have moved a bit faster with my life in terms of work, business, and really sat down and thought about what I actually wanted out of life, because I always did want to be a fitness trainer, or well, not be a fitness trainer, but was always into fitness, and that was a passion, and I'd never seen it as a passion, career, job, business, successful. I never seen it that way. It just took me a long time.
Love it. Hopefully young women or young men listening to this can get a bit of advice from that and realise that anything's within reach.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Lisa, for coming on the pod. I really enjoyed it. And anybody who's looking at any kind of coaching, get on to Lisa. She'll look after you.